Three, two, one. Ooh, that was a good one. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another DesTalk. If you are here, it means that you've watched my previous video where I talk about my love for the director Sam Raimi. If you were here because you have seen my video but haven't seen that previous one, go back and watch it. I'm happy to wait. I mean now. Go do that now. You've done it. Okay, cool. I brought this up because I wanted to do this in two parts because this is how much Sam Raimi means to me. He introduced me to something that even to this day is held very dear to my heart. And it can be summed up very, very simply with just this one sound. I hear that sound and I instantly break into goosebumps. I'm instantly taken back to Ireland, where I watched this in my local cinema in Newry, all the way back in, I believe, 2002, where Sam Raimi introduced me to Spider-Man. Now, don't get me wrong, I loved Spider-Man growing up. The 90s Fox animated series still holds a lot to me, and whenever I think of Spider-Man, I instantly think of that theme tune and the sound of the web shooters. But that and leading into Spider-Man was two very, very different things because I was a different guy. I didn't have the same connection to the character then as I do now. And I was interested to go see Spider-Man, but the thing that intrigued me more than anything else, the main reason I got to see that film, or I went to see that film, was because of four simple words. Directed by Sam Raimi. And I had to see it. And so I went. To say that I was blown away is an understatement of the highest magnitude. This film was incredible. And there's three scenes that totally subverted my thought process on what was going to happen. It was this particular scene.
Some spiders change colors to blend into their environment. It's a defense mechanism.
I thought that was going to be a power of Spider-Man. Turns out it isn't. Then there's this scene. I thought Spider-Man was going to stop that guy, therefore leading him down the path of when he was going to become a superhero. And guess what? He didn't. And then there's this scene.
All I wanted was to tell her how much I loved her. I can't.
Up until this point, I had always thought that the hero always gets the girl at the end. And he didn't. And these things blew my mind. I was not prepared for them. And I gotta thank Stan Lee and Steve Ditko for this character. I've got to thank Tobey Maguire for bringing this character to life. And whatever you think about Tobey Maguire, that's fine. To me, he is my Spider-Man because I grew up with his Spider-Man, so he is my Spider-Man. No offense to Andrew Garfield or Tom Holland. I'll talk about them in another video. But for now, Tobey Maguire is and was my Spider-Man. And in that first film, with all those red herrings and all those misdirects, I fell in love with that character. I loved the way that Sam Raimi directed him. I loved the way that he brought this world to life in a cartoony fashion. I adored him for that. And then it only gets better. Spider-Man was an amazing film. Spider-Man 2 is frigging amazing. Yeah, some parts of it still don't hold up to this day. But Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, amazing. Inspired. The way that Peter Parker is losing his powers because of the stresses of the world, I can relate to that now. Everything about this franchise I love. Here's the kicker, and here's the thing that might piss off a lot of people, but it's the truth, and I have to say it. Spider-Man 3 is a good movie, and I will defend it to my dying breath. Not all of it. The dance in the bar with evil Peter to piss off Mary Jane, I can't justify that. And I won't justify that. Him dancing down the street, doing the old finger guns with everybody, I could justify that. Because that is the Peter Parker that Sam Raimi had created. Peter Parker has never been cool. He has been a dork. A full-on dork. A 60s dork. So whenever he gets the black symbiote suit onto him, he doesn't know how to be cool and different and all that stuff. So what does he do? He finger guns down the street. He steals a piece of candy off J. Jonah Jameson's desk. He demands double the pay to become a full-fledged member of the Daily Bugle. These are things that a dorky Peter Parker would do, and it works. And I frigging love it. You can at me all you want, but the truth is, not many people liked Spider-Man 3. I get that. But we should have stuck with Sam Raimi. Spider-Man 4, from all the background stories, preview drawings and all this stuff that's out there, would have been fantastic. But we didn't have faith in Sam Raimi, and shame on us for that. We missed out on what could have been an amazing 4-part to this series. And now we'll never know. And I still love Sam Raimi. I still love his trilogy. I still love... Yeah, I'm going to go on record here. I love all the films that Sam Raimi has done. I honestly, truly do. And I cannot wait to see what he does with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I think it's going to be incredible. And hopefully you do too. If anybody out there like me is a fan of Sam Raimi, please consider sharing this with other Sam Raimi fans. Give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for coming to my DesTalk. Oh, one last thing just before everybody goes. If anybody out there is able to get this video to Sam Raimi, I know that he won't ever watch this, but just in case in the off chance that he does. Mr. Raimi, I'm Des O'Gorman, and I'm a fan of your work. I love your use of camera angles, editing, sound effects. The story of how you started up is inspiring. Your films mean so much to me. I really do hope our paths cross one day so I can say this to you face to face and shake your hand, but until then, I just want you to know that your films have helped me in more ways than I can explain to you. And it means so much to me that I get to talk about you now. Again, you may never see this video, but just in case you do, from one nerdy kid to another, thank you. Honestly, heartfelt, deep down, thank you. Yeah, thank you.